Hi, I'm Wayne the Boat Guy, and in this video I'm going to show you my new kayaks. But first, I'm going to talk about something that is very, very important to me, and that's about other YouTubers and YouTube channels. I don't know if you realize this, but there's a lot of YouTubers out there who rely on the income they make from ads on YouTube. In order for their ads to be on YouTube and those people to make any money, they have to have subscribers. So they have to have viewers and they have to have subscribers. And a lot of us just drop into YouTube and we just click around and we watch something and go, oh, that's nice. We don't like it and we don't subscribe because we don't understand what subscribing is all about. I've had YouTube videos up for years, but I never did anything about it. And a few years ago, my daughter and her boyfriend were watching some stuff on YouTube, and the channel they were watching was Good Mythical Morning. And I was watching it with them, and I was like, man, this is awesome. It's a great show. If you've never seen it, check it out. They do a lot of cool things with food, where they taste and eat things that we normally wouldn't even consider putting in our mouths. And Rhett and Link are awesome. So just a shout out to them, and also I buy merch from other YouTubers too because that helps them. So I'm going to be trying to do this in every video, supporting another YouTuber. The message that you should get from this is that you need to subscribe to YouTube channels. If there's things you like to watch and things you like to do, YouTube right now is the best place for that sort of thing. Whatever your interest or hobby is, you can subscribe to channels, follow people, and get alerted whenever they post new videos. And all I know is that YouTube has helped me greatly and entertained me immensely over the last few years. And I don't even really watch TV anymore. So, without further ado, let's talk about my new kayaks. Our story begins near the end of last summer. I had my boat and I've been doing some boat stuff, and my wife came up to me and she said,
I think it would be great if we had some kayaks.
Now, I'm a regular guy, and anybody who's in a relationship with somebody else, when the other person says, wouldn't it be nice if we bought something, you know you need to act right away, because otherwise, next thing you know, your washing machine goes bad or something else crazy happens around the house, and then you're not buying the new kayaks that you were going to buy. So I knew I needed to really act quickly. So the first place I went to was Craigslist. Everything I see on Craigslist is either like a fishing kayak that's all outfitted with rod holders and stuff like that, or they are these great big ocean-going kayaks. And people were asking $400, $500, $600 for a kayak, and I thought, that doesn't seem right to me. So then I started looking around some other places for used kayaks, and I thought, well, let me just see what a new kayak costs. So I pop in a Google search for kayaks, and I start seeing, how it shows like, Tractor Supply has some and Walmart has some. What popped up in one of those ads was that Kmart had some for like $117. $117 for a kayak. So Kmart, of all places, which seems to be going out of business, and maybe that's why these were so cheap, had these Sun Dolphin Aruba 10 kayaks on sale for like $117 a piece online. Did a quick YouTube search and checked around, looked at some videos, some reviews of them, and also looked at some other internet sources just to try to see, were these things total piles of garbage? Were they throwaway kayaks? Was there something gravely wrong with them? No, there wasn't. Normally these go for like $180 on up. If they come with paddles and vests and stuff like that, they can be more than that. And they're pretty decent starter kayaks. Once again, I'm thinking, no brainer, I can get these two going for a lot cheaper than I could be buying a couple of used kayaks. Last fall I picked these up. When I picked them up, got the two kayaks, also got some paddles and life vests, which I'll show you in a little bit, and this plastic box to put our cell phones in because it's a lot cheaper than buying waterproof cell phone cases. And then I got this cool strap holding system, which I'll talk about some more as well. When we got these, it was like the beginning of October, so it's the end of the season. where we live here. In fact, right now it's January, but it's this awesomely freaky 70-degree day in January, which is great. Got our new kayaks, and we took them out for a quick paddle around just to try them out. And they were awesome. They really were. These are great little cheap kayaks, and I don't know if you'll ever find them for this price new again, but these things are super easy to paddle. I'm going to be putting together a whole bunch of videos from my kayak, with my kayak, coming up when the weather's nice. But for now, I just wanted to show you a little bit about these, give you a little quick tour of their fabulous features. For where we live and what we want to do, these will do the job very nicely. They might not be the right kayaks for you. These are not necessarily whitewater rafting kayaks. They're not ocean-going kayaks. They're not fishing kayaks. They're just paddle-around recreational kayaks, which is all we wanted to do. So if you're here to see me fishing from my kayak, you can just... Sorry. I understand. You can leave now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. But if you're just like some guy who wants to ride around in kayaks, like me, stick around. These ones are very lightweight. The Aruba 10 is because it's 10 foot long. They make like an Aruba 8, I think, also, which is 8 foot long. And so these I thought were kind of like a nice size, nice compromise. They fit in the back of my truck. A couple people can carry them real easily down to the river. Matter of fact, my wife and I, they have these handles on the front. My wife and I, we were actually able to carry both of them with stuff inside the kayaks up to the truck. Little kayak education here. There's two basic types of low-cost kayaks. There are sit-in kayaks, like these, and then there's sit-on kayaks. The advantage of the sit-in kayak is it's like a canoe, so you're sitting down in it, and your legs don't get sunburned, and you can put a bunch of crap inside of it, which I like to be able to do. The sit-on kayaks, the advantage of those is that they're better for fishing and stuff because you got more leverage. And I guess they're supposed to be easier to paddle because you don't have anything that you could hit your arms on. However, I didn't hit my arms at all on these. They seem fine. So with these two kayaks being $117 a piece, by the time I bought my little plastic box and my life vests and my paddles, I still was under $300. So we were out on the water, two of us with gear for under $300, which I think is pretty good these days. Obviously, if you keep your eyes open, you look around on Facebook Marketplace, and people can find a lot better deals out there. But for all new stuff out the door, I was pretty happy with that. We personally prefer the sit-in kayaks. Besides the fact that you can put a bunch of stuff inside of them and your legs don't get sunburned, the other advantage of the sit-in kayak is you just kind of feel a little more secure. And my wife and I, we've rented kayaks in the past, and when we've been out kayaking, we've always, all the ones they've had for rentals are sit-in kayaks, and we've liked those. We've been happy with it. So let me tell you some other things about these particular kayaks. First of all, there's this cool T-handle strap at the front that helps you pull it out of the water, helps whenever you're carrying it around. Then there's this little section right here, which this is supposed to be for a water bottle. You're supposed to stick your water bottle right under here. However, if you think about it, if it's a sunny day and you're out kayaking and you put your water bottle there, even if it's a metal one, it's just sitting there baking in the sun. So I don't really think that's an ideal place to put a water bottle. However, that might be a very nice place where I can rig up some kind of mount for my camera whenever I'm going out. I'm not going to put a bunch of videos out there pointing at me. I want to try to shoot out the front and off the sides and stuff, but I might mount a camera right there. They also have these pads here on the side. These, I guess, help with getting in and out, and also your legs tend to rub there if you bring your knees up, so I think that's to protect you from that. There's a seat back cushion. So there's a strap and hook on the side, which is for storing your paddle. And then there's this little trunk in the back, which is not watertight, but it's semi-waterproof. It has a rubber gasket around it, and it straps down, but the rubber gasket isn't 100% complete, so I don't think it keeps out all of the water in certain kinds of conditions. Like if it was pouring down rain or big waves are splashing over you, I don't think it would keep out all of the water. Some people cut out the inside of the back trunk And underneath of that is some styrofoam, which helps obviously keep this afloat if it were to flip over. They take all of that out to increase their storage space in the back. I'm not sure that's anything I need to do at this time, so I'm not going to do it just to do it, but that's what some people do, especially if they're fishing. There's actually YouTube videos of people who bought these exact kayaks and then outfitted them to go out and go fishing. And obviously if you're fishing and you're carrying a lot of gear and you're going to be out for a while, you need to have more storage. Shortly after we bought the kayaks, we went to Bass Pro Shops, actually, and that's where I got this plastic box and this cool hanging system, which mounts the kayaks on the wall via these two straps. This hanging system was literally like $25, and it mounts via two eye hooks at the top there. It's very, very simple and easy to use, and it hangs two kayaks very nicely on the wall. So here's the life jackets that we purchased. I got these at Kmart. I know that the regular ones that kind of fit over top of you like this are not ideal for kayaking because of the action with the paddles. So they recommend the vest type. Obviously every different kind of life jacket has its pros and cons, and you can spend $200 on a life jacket, which if you're doing a lot of outside activities is probably worth it. But a lot of times it's out of people's budget, especially whenever they're starting out. What's great is that we picked a red life jacket and a blue life jacket to totally clash with our green and purple kayaks. So nothing like being colorful out there in the water. So these life jackets, they weren't much money at all. They have a couple of compartments that you can get to from snaps. They have this, which I think maybe I can mount a camera onto there. I don't know, haven't tried it. The important thing with life jacket is to get one that matches your body size and your weight. There are some very, very lightweight life jackets out there that are not meant for adult people. So you always want to make sure that inside you read the information where it talks about the size and weight of the person who's wearing the life jacket. What I liked about these ones is they have a zipper front. So you can easily zip or unzip the life jacket to put it on. It's not a whole bunch of straps going around to put it on. There are straps, but you can also just zip it on and off very quickly. If you have the place to store some kayaks and live somewhere within driving distance of water, it's a pretty cool investment that's not much money that can give you some entertainment. If you're not sure if you'd like kayaks, you can always go to like a lake or somewhere where they're renting kayaks and try it out. My wife and I have rented kayaks on several occasions and really enjoyed it. The disadvantage of renting a kayak is that you're under a time constraint and you can only take the kayak into the area where they rent them from. The advantage of renting a kayak is you don't have to buy a vest, you don't have to buy a kayak, you don't have to transport them around on the roof of your car or on a trailer or anything like that. So obviously your expense is much reduced, but if you go to kayaks several times during the year, you would save money by buying your own kayaks if you can get a good deal on some. I actually kind of am intrigued by the idea of getting a larger ocean kayak to take out on the bay sometime, but that may be a ways away in the future. We live just off of the Magothy River in Anne Arundel County, Maryland. And so the places where we'll be kayaking is up and down the river. And the river's quite wide. It's a nice river, but there's a lot of cool creeks and things off of the river that we can kayak. Also, we go out, a river goes right out onto the Chesapeake Bay. And so when the conditions are right, we can venture a little towards that area as well. So I think there's going to be a lot of neat things we can do with our kayaks in this river and in this area. And these are also small and light enough that I can stick them in the back of my truck and we can take them to other places and launch them. So before we start kayaking again in the spring, I'm going to pick up a few other things to have on our kayaks. Might get another waterproof box, that way have one for each kayak. Some rope to be able to tie off our kayaks if we ever want to or need to somewhere. And then also some things to be able to strap things to the kayaks and hold some things more secure in there. Maybe even a spare paddle. And also to rig up some camera mounts on mine, which I think mine's going to be the green one. If you have any suggestions about some safety gear, accessories, and other things that we should get for our kayaks, please be sure to post them in the comments below. If you like this video, subscribe. I'm going to keep making videos and putting stuff out there. I make videos about my boat and my experience with boating because I'm very new to boating and very new to kayaking. So I plan on making a lot of different kinds of videos about kayaks and boats and boating, and I don't know, maybe someday I'll even get a sailboat and try that out and we'll figure out some stuff about that. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe and like. Hit the little like button underneath here. Only people with a YouTube account can like and subscribe and comment on a video. And I think that's part of the fun.